So I've planned some live weekends. There will be a live weekend in Amsterdam, and that will be I hope I say the right dates. It's the weekend, so it's 3 and 4 December. And much more sooner, there will be 1 and 2 October, there will be a meeting in San Francisco. That's in the United States. So maybe you live there, then it will be nice to see you. Okay, and then there will be the Zoom meetings, of course. There's also a possibility, some people do already, if you want to have a one-to-one chat with a Zoom meeting, or maybe we can do a Skype, or you can also just phone me, and then we'll see if I'm at home and if it's all right that time. Or we can set a moment that we speak together. So I ask some, like, when there's just a phone call, that I have no cost for that. But when it's like an hour, we speak like an hour, I ask something like 25 euros. But we can speak about that. If that's too much for you, we can talk about that, okay, because it's not everything. So I will start. It's a bit strange to be there. I'm not so much used anymore. Oh, I think somebody's...
Nazis.
What?
The Nazis.
Oh! I forget. There can be also, for this meeting, there can be donations. I'm sorry, I just forget to ask. If you want to, you can donate, and there's a PayPal on my website. There's also my bank account. If you want to donate something, that would be nice. So, okay. And so when we talk about this, it seems like it can be complicated, and it's trying to understand what is going on, trying to get clear what's happening, and trying to maybe not forget what is said in the meeting. Nothing matters. And that's amazing. When there's someone, there seems to be someone, and there's being in the world and being with other people, and seems to be relations with other people, maybe relations like me and circumstances, then it seems very obvious that there's something to do, that you're responsible for getting your life to work and do things to make yourself comfortable, do things to make yourself maybe relaxed or happy. When this is saying this message, there's no one, that doesn't mean there's in that body there's no one. It's less than that. Everything is an appearance. So there's even not, the body isn't real. So there's only an apparent body. So that's something else. So there's nothing happening, and there's only an appearance, seems to be like buildings and bodies and people. But nothing is real. So saying there's no one, it doesn't mean that there's something real. And that's maybe a difference with some other speakers. They don't talk about nothing is real. They talk about there's no one, and maybe there's consciousness. When there's no one, when everything is lost, there's also no awareness. So awareness is part of the me, part of the dream of me, part of the story. It's the story is part of the me. When there's no story, when there's no me, there's no story. It's very, very simple. It's just what's happening. And that's what's happening is moving a hand, maybe a feeling, maybe the wall. Nothing is more important than anything else. Nothing is happening to me or to someone else. It's just happening. And it can be feelings, it can be just nothing, seeing a wall. That's it. That's the simplicity. That's also the normal thing about this. It's very normal, very uncomplicated. And it's just this. When there's someone, it seems like I have to deal with everything that I meet, and I have to do my best to have a good life. When there's no one, it's obvious that there's nothing going on about free will or choice. It's what's happening. Life is everything. So life is just what's happening, and that's it. There's no one in that life that can choose or want something. You can want something, but life isn't interested. Life is just what it is, without any meaning. It just is. Nothing has any meaning. That's strange, because when there's someone, it seems like everything what happening to me is important, and it's also important how I deal with that, or how I think about that, what I do. When there's hearing this message, nothing is important. That's strange, because it seems like how is that possible? But it's also nothing is unimportant. It doesn't matter what is going on. And it's not saying to yourself, oh, nothing is important or nothing matters, because that's a new concept. Saying to yourself all those things you hear, it seems like, there's a new way of trying to live your life with those new words or new messages. It has nothing to do with this. This is not a way of living. This is describing what is, and that's it. It's no help, no use for anybody. There is no one, and there's no help. There's no need for help, because that what's happening is already it. So that face, that body that seems to be there, the way that's moving is it already. There's nothing going on like wrong or right. That's part of that me dream that there has to happen something. There's no good and no bad. Nothing is good, nothing is wrong. That's amazing, because everything seems to be like this is better than that. But there's only one. There's no two. When there's two, there's always good or bad or better or worse or bigger or comparing. There's only one, and that can be the wall, a movement, can be feelings. It's everything, and it's very simple. There's no need to explain it. You can't explain life. It's just eating cheese. How can you explain eating cheese? It's just that. Nothing more than that. Or walking, or a wall. And when it's everything, that's the joy. That's also the freedom. There's nothing more important, more interesting, more whatever than something else. It's only different. It's only different. That's it. So we can talk about that. Maybe there are questions about this or something else you want to say. You can unmute yourself and start talking, and we see what happens.
It's so lovely to have these meetings again. Thank you, Rose.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I love it too. It's great to see you again. Mm. There's in the chat. Can you please speak about comparison? When there's me, there seems to be other people. So, and when there's me, there's something seems to be lost, seems to be missing. So there's something going on, like there's something not right anymore. And maybe I'm not all right, or there's something wrong with me, I have to put it right, or there's something wrong in the world or with parents, or so that there's something wrong. And then there's looking around like, oh, it's a bit of story, but trying to explain. Looking around like, oh, there's a survival mechanism starting, especially when there's in childhood. And there's the parents, and you want to behave, or you think you have to behave, so you get the love of your parents. If you behave in a good way, they're gentle to you, and otherwise they're angry, or all that kind of stuff. So it seems like behavior is very important. It's behavior, but it's maybe also the way you look. So there's becoming, this has to be some clothes that are all right and other ones are not all right. And there seems to be other people there. And you compare that you normally notice then when there are other people. Maybe there's something going on like, oh, I want to be like her or like him. And there's trying to copy that behavior, or trying to do something that you are as relaxed as this person. Or maybe there's somebody good looking with their clothes, and then things like that can happen. But this is more maybe like talking about behavior. And there's always seems to be good behavior, and people are examples of that, or trying to do the right thing, and then you think, oh, I should do that also because that's all right, and that they are a good example for me. So there's always a comparing to other people. And suddenly sometimes you think, no, I don't care about other people, I just do what I want. But there's always some looking around, and when there's an awareness, and that's part of that me, there's always something going on like, am I good enough? Is this everything? There's a missing of something. So there's always something going on like, this is not right yet, or I want some more. Maybe I should be in another place because this place isn't all right. And there's always something going on like that, and looking for other houses, it's like all the time, it's like, there is somewhere else, maybe it's going to be better. Or with somebody, maybe it's my relation. I should be with somebody else because that makes me more happy, maybe, or something like that. But it's always being busy, like, is this the right thing? Is this all right? Am I in the right group and things like that? So there's so much asking yourself about how to make it right, because there's something underneath everything. There's something wrong. There's something wrong with me. There's something wrong somewhere, and we have to make it right. We have to do something to make it right, and that's the misunderstanding. There's nothing wrong. There seems to be a separation, and that seems to give a feeling like, no, I'm not being satisfied. But the feeling that it's not it's a feeling, it's an embodied belief there's something wrong, that's so embodied, and hearing here that there's nothing wrong, that's sometimes it can't even be heard. It's so strong, then it's maybe some superficial thing, but it's very, very, very energetic also. So this message is also something energetic, because it's not convincing that somebody and say to people, there's nothing wrong with you, because already there are thousands of books about I'm okay, you're okay. So somewhere it's known or it's recognized, but it's not really. And in this message, it's also trying to maybe there's trying to make it more clear, like there's nothing wrong. But it's not only in the words, it's also in the way it's something else. It's expressed in a certain way. This message is energetic, so it has nothing. It has something to do with the words, but not really. The words are a carrier of that love, or you could say that unconditional love, and that's not mine. It's not Rose's, but it's life. Life is unconditional love. Life doesn't care about whatever happens. It's everything. And that's where we talk about.
Rose, there's a couple of places in the Bible that it says that nothing can separate us from the love of God. And that's kind of what you're saying, in a way that no matter what appears, it's still it's still unconditional love.
Life is, yeah, it doesn't matter. Life is unconditional love.
Yeah.
But it's unconditional, and we think we know what love is. That's what humans do, though, and they fill it in a certain way, and it has to be a certain behavior and things like that. That has nothing to do with unconditional love. Unconditional love means everything. Everything. That's amazing. That's amazing, because that's not normal in the way that we talk in the story about love. Because I don't love you when you do that. It's like that. In a subtle way, it's always like that. And God, in that sense, is used in a way like he won't like that. There's no. God is a concept like trying to know what love is and trying to fill it in. Has nothing to do with unconditional. It's life. It's everything. It's amazing. It's everything. So it's lions eating an antelope. That's life.
That's love.
That's the unconditional. It's raw. It's raw. Yeah. It's not nice. Yeah.
Nice is it too?
It's not nice. Nice, no. It can be like anger. Anger is also the
if
same.
it shows up as something pleasant, that's it as well as anger and.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's also nice. It can be nice, of course. Yeah. If that's what you mean. Yeah, sure.
What I meant.
Yeah. But that in some way we are okay with that. But saying it's also angry, or it's also like something, we're not used to that. But yeah, it's like really little children. They are like that. There's no awareness there, so it's just moving around, and there's nothing going on about choosing or things like that. It's just life. It can be low energy, high energy, anything. It's very simple. And in the same time, there are so many concepts and beliefs in that whole survival mechanism, that it's overlaid by all those ideas and beliefs and concepts. There can be there can be a lot of concepts in these meetings. Maybe not.
Can I just start speaking, Rose?
Yeah, sure.
Hi.
Hi. Hello.
Yeah. So lately, there's the feeling that I have been struggling with a lot of feelings of isolation and feeling lonely. But then do I hear that isolation and loneliness is there, but it doesn't belong to me. It's not for an I, it just is as it is.
Yeah, but in some way, loneliness and like that is some part of a story also. This is talking about something much more simple than that. It's like sitting. It's just sitting, and then there's walking, and maybe a wall or that. And we are so used to having to look at ourselves and think about what's going on. I don't know. I don't know if it's like you, but it's like there's an overview and thinking like, oh, it was already for so many days I didn't see anybody, or that's what I feel now, and just talking about that. And that's what me does. It trying to make itself keep itself alive, because that's the story. And really what's happening is only sitting. That's it. Or watching television, or I don't know, walking, or seeing a wall. And it's that simple. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mm.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mm. And it can be any questions. It doesn't mean that you have a question about something that it makes everything more clear. Maybe there's something going on in that personal world that it doesn't matter which questions there are. They don't need to be like about non-duality or something like that. It doesn't matter. It can be anything.
Can I speak again?
Yeah, of course.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I switched the video off because I'm eating my dinner. Yeah, so it's amazing with the story of the me, which is the separation, because I can say that there was no choice to decide not to get the COVID vaccination. It was really like it's just there was no choice to see reality in a different way. But then there was a retreat only half an hour from where I live with Jim Newman, and you had to do the test. And because I don't agree, even though it was the closest to me, I didn't go because. But you know, there's no choice. Is there? It's
when that happened, then that's what's happening.
Yes. And I'm aware there's no right or wrong, and that I'm aware that there's no choice as well. Well, in the story of the eye, there's
you only can see what is happening. Maybe there's going to some place, or there's something going to the shop, or maybe there's. And it's not always about looking at yourself and about no choice. It's also the wall, or there's the carpet. It's everything. It's not always about, oh, how do I behave? No, it's everything. It's glass. Glass. You see glass. It's Wow. And there can be thoughts, but nothing has any meaning. Nothing. Wow. It's just what's going on. It's just, there can be thoughts. It's energy in that way. Or socks. I don't know. There's so quickly, that's what we use. There's so quickly a story with everything. Like I find something about something else, or that's it. But
But thank you, because you said we can talk about anything.
Sure.
So yes, thank you.
It's everything. It doesn't matter. That the joy is also, there's nothing going on like this is better talking about non-dualism, difficult word, or about the weather, or about I'm feeling lonely, or whatever. It's everything. So when there's a question, or there's something like, oh, there's coming out that, then that's it. Of course, and we see what happens. I don't know. There's nothing going on like I like this better than that. It's just what's coming. I don't know. You don't know.
Hi, Rose.
Yeah. Hi, Nancy.
Hi. I just wanted to ask you the question. You say that there, and I know this at some level, but there is no body. And I was wondering if you could say a little more about that.
I don't say there's no body, because that's too I don't know, that's not clarifying everything. It's like everything is apparent. It's an appearance. So it's there, and it's not, in the same time it's an appearance, so it's not real. That's something else. So they're seeing somebody or a face or something like that. And there's no continuation. So because there's no time, there's also no continuation. And that's with the body. Normally we think, oh, the body is always there. In the night we sleep, but it's still there. And then they're talking about this, and then they're saying, no, it's an appearance, and it can be there, but it's not always there. Nothing is always there. There's no always. It can happen, and sometimes it's there, sometimes not. So that's strange because we're not used to that. And there can be body, seeing a body, and we think there's happening everything inside, but there's no inside. This is crazy, this message. We're assuming that when there's a body, there's something inside. We are inside, maybe the feelings are inside, or all kind of stuff is inside. But that's an assumption. And then there's only what is seen, what is felt, and there's only the front. So that's what's happening then. So, and it's also that it's an appearance. So everything, you could say, it's all energy. It's only energy, and it can be there or not. It changes. There's nothing inside. It's empty. Everything is empty. It's just what is seen, or maybe a feeling. Then there can be a feeling, but it's happening in space. It's not inside a body. That's also, we assume that it's that because that's what we have learned or we believe. But this is very literally. So when there's a feeling, there's a feeling somewhere. Maybe you don't even know what a feeling is. Doesn't matter. Then it's somewhere, but it's not yours. It's not in the body. There can be bodying, like seeing the front. That's it. A body moving in the street. That's it. It's nothing inside.
Yeah, the not knowing what a feeling. I often think I don't know what a feeling is, but yet I know that there's this chronic pain that happens here, but the pain is never the same. You know what I mean? It's always changing.
Yeah.
Always changing.
Yeah.
And it was you made me realize that of course the body isn't always here, because when you fall asleep at night, where does it go? Yeah.
It seems like we're so used to believe that it's our body and it's always there. That gives more a sort kind of safety feeling. There's no safety, so there's no hold in anything, and that can be weird because we're so in an identity, and this is my body and my life, and then they're saying, oh, it's not my. There's only life. There's only bodying can happen, or feelings. There's no hold. That's the freedom. That's the freedom. It's that and that. It has nothing to do with or Nancy or Rose. It's like that.
Yeah.
It's everything is lost then. And then there's also no Rose. There can be, it seems like Rose, but we have a lot of maybe there are some thoughts about how Rose is. You don't know. Nobody knows. I don't know. Of course not. I don't know what will happen, what will be said. It's just happening. And that's not only here, but it's everywhere. And the fun is, it doesn't go anywhere. It just is. That's it. We think we have to do because then maybe later, There's no later. There's only this. There's no time. There's no before. There's no after. Wow. That's it.
There's nothing that needs to be done.
No. There's no need for anything because everything is already complete in itself, like how it's going. We think complete is like kind of perfect something. what I mean with complete, it's already complete, like it is. So the hair like that, or that's it. That's complete. No need for anything. That's it. It's very simple. It's maybe sometimes too simple, because there's no need for understanding either. No need. No need for anything. It's just what's happening. And you don't need to follow that also, that, oh, that's, I feel, and now I feel this, and I go. No, why should you? It's just going. It's going nowhere. It is. It's more, it is like that. Apparently also apparently, so.
Yes, it does. It is simple, and it seems so freeing.
Yeah, it is. It is. And when there's me, it's trying to control and trying to deal with it and trying to think, oh, this is better than that, and how can I, all that. There's always complications and seem to be problems. And that's part of that me construct. It's that, because then it can go on, like trying to solve or trying to deal or trying to. And this is threatening, because they're saying, no, there's no problem. There's nothing needed. It's already what is. So where to go?
Yes, and then there's also the wanting to understand what this is, or and there's nothing really to understand, but it's just there's a wanting to understand.
And some people can talk beautifully about non-dualism and explain how things work and how that is like free will and that. And it's nice to understand and be very clear. But when it's not there, when that's not there, it's the same thing, because it's no need for understanding. There's no need, like what I said about eating cheese. What do you want to understand about eating cheese or walking? It's just that. Yeah. That's that simple, is it? Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, great.
Can I ask you about your visit to the San Francisco area? Is it in a private home? Is it going?
Yeah, it's with somebody. Yeah, with somebody there. Yeah. Why? Yeah, it's just there. Yeah, and maybe it depends, because there are 8 people, something like that. When the group is bigger, maybe we look for something else. But I think it's enough that home.
It's in Fremont.
I think so. It's in Fremont. Yeah.
I was just curious about that, because I don't know why. If I were able to, it's about a 6.5 hour drive or 6 hour drive for me to go, if I go, and I would have to find a hotel, and hotels in the Bay Area are very expensive. So I don't know if I can do it, but I was just wanting a little more information. So
okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can also, there's also the email from the person whose house it is, so maybe she knows something, she can help you. There's an email address on the website from her, from the Anu. So maybe she can help you with that if you want to. Or if you can find it, you can email me, and I will ask her if she can help. So send me an email. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just so happy. It happened in Fremont, California.
Yeah.
I come to my city, so I have to be there.
So you have to be there, yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Yesterday, when I was contemplate this me thing, it was really angry. It feels like I'm really like a straw, not like a real human. Every thought, it was happening without any control. This over here, everybody else was like that. And angry with who did direct this? Who sent those thoughts to me? Who sent those to me? My life. So like a non-Jew message was stop over there. There's nothing to know, and that's it. But my curiosity wanted to know
who's sending them. It's energetic. It's energetic. It's not. There's no leader or something. No, it's just life. It's energetic. I don't know. Can be there. And there's no reason. There's no reason. We think it has a reason. So maybe it's because of I am like that or like that. That's complication. That's how we learn to think that there's cause and effect, and all those thoughts has to do. It has to do with something I did or whoa. No, they're just thoughts happening. Nothing more than that.
Yeah. I see more clear that there's no me to make those decisions. They just happen. But I don't quite understand this self-awareness because I still felt like there's knowing of everything happening.
Yeah, but that's normal. When there's someone, there is an awareness. There's seeing yourself and looking at yourself or thinking about what's going on. That's how that whole construct works, that survival mechanism. And what can happen in these meetings is that some concepts are not that strong anymore, or some beliefs maybe. Yeah. But it doesn't mean that it becomes clear. Oh, now I know there's no me. No, it's not like that. Has nothing to do with understanding. Here, there's nothing going on like, oh, I'm sure there's no me. No. But there's also no doubts. So nothing is going on about if there are me or no me. It's just lost. There's nothing busy with that or something like that. And it doesn't mean that when there's nothing busy with that, then there's no me. I can't explain. But it has nothing to do with being clear that there's no me. You don't have to be clear about, oh, now it's very clear there's no me. That's what me does, trying to work it out. And that can happen. Some people are more busy with that than other people. Then maybe that's the way it goes. But when it's never worked out, it will never be understood or really clear. Or maybe it feels very clear. But then so what? Everything goes on the same. It's still there. It's more, and me is not something. It's all those. It's not real. Me is also, there is already no me. But when we talk about me, is that construct and all those that believe that I am there and I'm deciding that, and there's a past, and that whole survival mechanism. And me is on top of that, like the leader, like I'm deciding how it's going on in my life or things like that. And then suddenly, and that's about control, and it gives a bit of safety, like feeling I'm in control and I'm doing the right thing maybe. And then suddenly there's a hearing of this message, like there's no one in control. There's already no me. Like what is that? It's more like that. And this is not like convincing somebody. No, of course not. I don't care. There's already no one, so who to convince? It's just saying, like, it's just coming out like that. And then maybe there are some concepts falling away, or maybe it's getting stronger also. Everything can happen. I don't know. But me is already, there is no me. Me isn't there. It's empty.
Very interesting.
Very interesting. Look.
I'm looking forward to see you.
Yeah, sure. Great.
Rose, can you talk about can you talk about more about time? Because
about what?
About time.
Time.
Yes. I can still have those memory come out. Still feels there's a process of existence. But we're also talking about there's no time, like every moment is fresh. But if I be honest with what I experienced, there's memory of being there.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Well, when there's talking about time, there can be memory. Memory talk is happening in this. So there can be images about some place there, it was there. So the strange thing is it's very convincing that there's then time, because you remember I was there a few days ago and I still know the places, and when I go back it will be there again, and so that's very convincing. And when there's a belief it's like that, then there's a belief in time, so it's like that. But suddenly it can be seen also like, oh, there's no time, and it's just everything is happening. It's this, and there's no before and no after. So there are no. It's huge because there's also no consequences. There's nothing going on before and after. It's always innocence. It's always only this, and there can be memories. Maybe the memories are not the same as what happened, but there can be memories and they seem like the same, or they are convincing. But there can be a memory, and then that's it. Doesn't mean that then because there's a memory, then there's time. No, it's just a memory, just images like from a place, and maybe thoughts about that, or smell. That's it. Time is not real. It can be, we look into that in the story and we say, it's 7 o'clock, we start this meeting, and then it's starting, so it seems like, oh, time is real. And at the same time, there's something about it that there's no time. It's strange, like it seems like it's solid, but at the same time it's not. It's like when there's waiting, time seems very long. When there's no waiting, it seems like going very fast. So it seems like, oh, there's something already not real about time. But it seems like a hold. So then we can plan things and we are sure that it will happen at that time. And that everything is going on, like in the story, that me likes to be in control or be safe. So it feels like time is real. It's also safe. When there's no time, it's just what's happening, and it doesn't matter. Maybe there's being in time or not, but it doesn't matter. The strange thing is, nothing matters. It's not because there's no time. It's because there's nothing happening. There's nothing happening. Everything is only an appearance, and it seems like it's real. So it seems like everything is really important, but there's nothing happening. It's only an appearance. So time is also an appearance. But when there's me, everything seems real and solid. So then everything becomes important. So then there's time, because we think we are born and we die and all those things. When there's no time, there's no born. There's nothing born. There's no dying. There's only this. There's only this. That's the freedom.
I'll get into it.
Hi, Rose.
Hello. Hi.
So I'm looking forward to see you in San Francisco in 2 weeks.
Oh, you go.
My husband Zoom, but my name is Aneta. We actually spoke on the email.
Oh yeah.
But the question I just want to ask, we just came out. You know, a couple of days ago, I was actually listening to your older videos on YouTube, and it was a glimpse experience that the gap between the me and the body. So the me was not any. I mean, the contracted energy was still in the body, but somehow there was a gap between the me and the body, which I could clearly see that everything what I thought about this body is made up. Like everything what I thought about myself, I would say, is completely made up. Which everything what I knew was made up. You know, there was a clear seeing that.
Yeah.
Also, the question came out because if the me is not located in the body, it appears just like the body appears, just like the phone appears. It's like everything appears, right?
Yeah, but but not me. Me is not real. Me is just an imagination that there's someone on top of everything, and that's deciding things or doing things. There's already no me.
But why? So why the me wants even to? It's not there, but why wants to? Like remove itself, because not the body wants to remove itself. The me somehow feels separated, but the me, I feel like the me, it's not in the body. It's just like appearing.
Now, me is not. There's the me is a illusion. It's not there, but it seems very real because we are so convinced. Like there's a me, and I am deciding that, and it's because of me that the body is moving because I decided to go. Or that's very convincing, but there's already no me. The body is just, it seems like the body is moving. It's like that. It's life. It's no one doing that.
So it's just the me, it's like kind of like, I don't know, like a cloud, like.
No, me is not there. Me is not there. Me is not real. But it's only in the dream, in the story of that we normally speak about, that then there seems to be a me. Like I feel I am here, and like everybody thinks I am here, and I'm deciding to do that. But me is not real. We talk about me and to lose the me, but the funny thing is when it's lost, it's seen like there never was a me. There never was one.
So the me wants to get rid of itself, like it's just.
Yeah, it never can happen. That's the dream. Yeah, me wants to get rid of the me. It never happens.
Yeah. So the difference between, I mean, the illusionary difference between Aneta and Rose is that here it feels like it's the contracted energy in the body. Like I feel I'm here. In the over there in Rose, there is no contracted energy anymore. You would not be able to.
It's not like that. No, it's not like that. There's no Rose. It's even worse. But there's also no Aneta. There's also no Aneta. We are so convinced that we are here. This body is here. There's a character. I'm like that, and I'm doing that, and this is my life, and da 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 da. It's a dream. It's a dream. It's just this. There's that face moving. That's it. That's it. Nothing more than that.
Yes. So, like I said, that's the illusion for Aneta. This is an illusion that Aneta feels that she's in the body. She begins here or
yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's the me story. The story of me. Yeah, sure. That's what most people think. Yeah. Yeah, it's very convincing.
No more that. Rose
no, that's lost. Yeah, that's lost.
Okay. So if I would ask you, you would say, I don't know where I begin or where I end, because there is no you. So it's just the boundless energy, which is then nothingness appearing like everything as a singular one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But it's not that it's there's no Rose. That seems like there's, so it's not appearing for me. It's the same there. And on top of that, there is maybe that illusion, like that belief, that embodied belief that I'm here and the whole thing is there. That can be with that. But it's very difficult to compare. You can't compare that. Because then it's always, it's not like that. You can't compare. You can only talk about what's for you, it's there, and then it's feeling like I'm here and maybe there's something going on. And there's an image about Rose. It's never that. I can't explain how it is. It's impossible how it is. So I don't, you can't say.
Well, I can see that you can explain it. It's just that's only a pointers for the me trying to probably understand how is it.
But that's more about what is time and things like that. But about Rose, what is Rose? I don't know what Rose is. I don't know. That can be talking or laughing or anything. I don't know. So it's not a fixed thing. No, I don't know. You can't say something about it. So you can't compare. Comparing is something that me does in the story. Like I want to compare me with you and I have this and you don't have that. It's not like that. You can't, no, it's not like that. There is already nowhere there's me. It's already like that. It's only an appearance. There can be thoughts about it's different, then there are thoughts about that's different. There's no difference between here and there.
And there,
no. But when there's a story and it seems like I'm in the story, then there seems that there's a difference. But
So would you say, Rose, that the thought process, the whole thought process, the thinking, that's the me?
No. Thinking is just what's happening. Here can be thinking too. I'm going to the shop, or I don't know, some things. More the practical things most of the time, because that whole thing about, oh, why should I do that? Oh, that's not it's not really happening. But more the practical thoughts can happen. It's just life, thoughting. It's like that. But in that me story, when there's me and that whole structure is there, that construct, then there's a lot of going on like thought, but it's energetic thoughts going on like why, or what should I do, or maybe I should have that, or that kind of thoughts can be there. It's not always like that, but what I hear is a lot of times.
If the thoughts become personal, like I did something or I went something, that's when the me, which is the me, it's illusion. So the thoughts appears, the body appears, but there is no relationship between the thoughts and the body.
No, there's there's no relationship. When there's a relationship, it's two. So there's only a relationship in the story. There can be body, but it can be walking. It's singular. It's only that. Yeah.
Right.
It's impossible to imagine. The strange thing is you can't imagine that, because when what you normally do is trying to make an image of that or understand. You can't. It's impossible. Yeah. Well, and it's normal to try. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, that's try, and then you can't. And that's because that's what me wants. You want to understand, and then you can do something with that or whatever. Yeah. And then there's no answer on that. Yeah, something like that. So it's one. It's only one. Moving the hand. Nobody does that. It's just moving. Apparently.
Okay, thank you, Rose. Appreciate that.
Okay, thank you.
Have you got time to add something?
Yeah, sure. To add, oh, you did ask something? What? Sorry, what did you say there? I didn't understand, maybe.
Is it unmuted? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was going to ask something and then I can't remember what it was.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
So there's no Rose and there's no others.
No. No. That's the story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's so for the thought that there's an I, it's such a it's like an earthquake, really, because it's so it just there's no words.
Yeah.
It's just so completely opposite in a way to the idea of I and others and of that reality.
Yeah. Sure.
I was thinking, there's I remember like a card or a picture, and where a lion is amongst the sheep and believes he's a sheep until another lion comes along, takes him to a stream or something, and he can see his reflection that it was never a sheep in the first place. And it makes me, my brain is trying to understand a bit what it might be like.
You can't.
There's the realization that there was never anybody in the first place, but
This is not, no, it can't be understood. There can be suddenly an opening like, oh my God, what is it? And you can't even speak about it, but it's suddenly like, oh, and then maybe that can be, some moments can be like that. And it's not about understanding, but it's something else. And that can happen in some way. And then suddenly there's some enlightening, or there's suddenly a moment there's no me, that me is always trying to understand and in between, and then suddenly some moment it's not in between, and then and it's like that. And you can't even say what it is or how or explain to others. I can't explain. I can explain some things around it, but not how it is. No. It's like a bombshell. This is boring. Yeah, sure. Yeah. But at the same time, it doesn't matter. Don't bother about understanding or not understanding. It's still, everything is still moving and going. And so what?
In 5 minutes, the question won't be
Yeah.
Thank you, Rose.
Yeah, thanks.
Hi, Rose.
Hi there.
There appears to be like a lot of trauma that's trapped in the body, and it gives me the gives me the impression that there's no way that the me could fall away due to all of this trauma. It gives that. And then I come across there's like other speakers that say that, not really the same as this, but they say that you have to work on that. Yeah, they say that that the message can't be heard because of that.
Oh yeah.
But then this message doesn't say that.
No, has nothing to do with that. No. Because the trauma is like, it's an interpretation, like there's trauma. There can be tension, or there can be feelings, maybe, or something. That's it. It's very immediate.
Yeah.
And there's already no me. That's also like, oh, it's so embodied, like that belief and concept, like there's me, and it can't fall away because of that. It has nothing to do with if there's trauma in it. There can be a lot of tension in the body. So what? This body is not completely relaxed. No, there can be tension. There can be somewhere, or it has nothing. That it's just like that. That has nothing to do with me or no me. It's just, me is the story. Me is that story about, oh, what I did. I don't know if that's the same, but what do I feel? Oh, is that because of, oh yeah, I remember something, and I can remember maybe feelings and interpretation, and that becomes a story. I mean, it's very convincing, and maybe a release of emotion, and then there's crying and thinking, oh wow, and now it's going better. That was what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And then, but there can be crying, or there can be tension. Then there's tension. That's the completeness. It's tension. It is not wrong or not right yet or something like that, because that's what is believed when they're seeing like, oh, it has to be worked on. Then it's not complete yet. No, it's already complete. Then there's tension, and it's not like all day it's the same. There's some moments of tension, and there's not thinking about it, and walking around, or there's seeing a street, or it's always something else. And we think it's one thing, and it's always there, and we have to do something because it's one. I am in this body where everything is going on. That's that story what we were talking about. There's no then. There's no. It's not a body with then inside, and then there's happening in the past things, and that's the story, and that's convincing. So it keeps on. When there's working on it, it keeps on surviving.
Yeah,
that's how it survives. And then suddenly it's heard. Oh, there's already no then. Excuse me. So then there's that body is not real. It's like boom, boom, boom. Yeah. But it's like, oh my God, it's already this. It's already maybe tension. Then there's tension. So that's life can be everything. It's not only in relaxed bodies, then there's life. No, of course not.
That's the other belief, is that if there was only this, there wouldn't be all of that. You know, a body that's clear of pain. That's the
and that's so. I did believe that so strongly, and I did work on that, and all the time, and it's a never-ending story.
It is,
because there's always confirming there's something wrong, and there's always something to do in that way. And there's nothing wrong. That's amazing. There's nothing wrong. It's merely, you can't believe it. It's like, but it's not all the time tension. There can be a tension, or there can be, I don't know what trauma is. It's also a story in a way. It's what they're sitting, feeling, and maybe the somewhere it's a feeling somewhere in the back, somewhere backwards. I don't know. There's something like that. That's it. It's very tiny. That's so simple and so tiny. So that's everything. That's it. And that's, you don't need to do something for that. That's already there. So that's the completeness. Yeah. And it doesn't matter what it is. It can be a tone of the voice. It can be sitting. There can be an emotion, anything. But that's this. When you talk about it, and that's already there, of course. So what should we do? There is nothing to do, of course, but there's no one. It's empty, so there's no one. There's no one who can do something, but there's no need. There's no need. That's the joy. It's already the way that face is looking, and it's always different. It's unique. It's a then energy, and it's not always that then energy, but it's, you can't even say what it is because it's changing all the time.
Yeah, I see what you mean, because it isn't all the time, but when it does appear, there comes that, oh, it's this again. I've always got this, fear of rejection or, relationships or something. So it feels like it's in a story.
Yeah. And that seems very convincing. And in the same time, there's sitting or maybe drinking coffee. And then there's that whole story about, feeling there and that whole thinking. But the strange thing is, talking about these things, then that whole story gets less important. It gets less strict or and that's how it can happen. You don't need to do something about that. You can't, but it can be there. And it's what I noticed here. It's getting bored. It got a little bit bored because it's always the same story. It's always like, and I was like, oh, it's always the same in a way. But then it got me again, and then it was, what is that again? And then, like that. And it wasn't that strong anymore. That's how it was here.
Yeah. Well, it's funny here because it seems a bit like it's the other way around. It feels like each time it comes, it's stronger, but I don't really. I don't know what that is. Yeah.
But then that's also a story. It's because there's a comparing. It's trying to compare that before. That's what I did. Is it more relaxed now? I think I feel more relaxed. Or stronger. I can be like that. Yeah. It's a feeling, and it's maybe like that. If you can't, maybe I can't even say it's strong or not strong. It's like that. That's the feeling. Maybe you don't know what it is. Doesn't matter. It's that. And then it's something or some ways going away and then something else. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need to know.
No. Yeah. But it feels like a sort of, people speak about the void or something. When it's really bad, it feels like it's like a death, It feels like this. I can't really explain it, but it's weird. It's almost like a terror kind of feeling,
It can be terror. Yeah, it can be very strong.
Yeah.
But what is lost here is then that there's something going on, like trying to get rid of things or something like trying to change it, because there's something going on. I don't want this. I want that. I want to feel more comfortable, and I don't want that. So that's that. And that it doesn't matter when it's really strong. There can be really fear here, but there's nothing. There's no escape. There's no escape. So that can be very strong, but there's no thoughts about what to do with it or trying to change it. It doesn't appear. So it can be very strong, but it's just that. And when there's trying to get rid of it, then the story starts, then the suffering starts also. You can't do anything about it, but it's just explaining.
I suppose it just happens till it doesn't.
Sure. That's it. So what? And the strange thing is, so what? Because we think this is the most important, and now still it's happened again. And then there's also the floor, something like that, because otherwise it's so important what's happened in you, something like that. And that's what's also lost. Rose is not important, not at all. So it's not about Rose, and there can be feelings or not, or the floor. It's the same.
Well, thanks for that.
Thanks. There's somebody saying something in the chat. The I is not real, but does it exist? And time is not real, but does it exist? It's an appearance. Me is not an appearance. Me is not real. Me is just something that's made up and that's really believed and embodied. Time is an appearance in the story. It's not real, but it's an appearance. You can't, I wouldn't say it doesn't exist, because it's an appearance. It's happening in the story. It seems to happen.
Hi, Rose.
Hello.
I'm still gonna drill on this meeting. So would you say that thoughts are appearances? The thoughts appear?
Appear, yeah.
Okay, so somehow I see the I, the me, as also a thought. So what is the difference, or is there any difference between thought and the me?
But thoughts is just thoughts. Thoughts are just thoughts. It's an energy, and there's somewhere else energy. It has nothing to do with me. It's just me is at the whole construct, like yeah. It's difficult to say because it's not real. So it's that whole survival mechanism, and it can be in thoughts, of course. Because that's so like, what I'm going, but yeah.
So would you say that for example, like how to explain that the me, the I, kind of like it's illusion that appears before the thoughts, and it's claiming that that's my thoughts. I am thinking.
Yeah, when there are thoughts, then after the thoughts, me is taking claim and thinking it's my thoughts. I am thinking that, and that's the way I am. That's the way I'm thinking about things or about myself. So it's just thoughts are just there, and then me likes. It's not. It's a story, of course, because it's not really happening like that. But it's taking claim on that, and it's thinking, it's my thought, and I'm thinking that, and that's me. Me is that. Yeah, something on top of that, you could say. Not really, but to explain it. And claims what is happening. Claims this is my body, this is my thoughts, this is my decision. I am here, okay, I'm real.
Okay, Rose, do you remember before the me maybe dissolved somehow that you had this like kind of voice in your head constantly, like, right, speaking, and like the narrative of everything? That's thoughts or that's the me?
Yeah, that's difficult to say. It's just thoughts, but that me is more that claim that there's me. That it's there. It's just, me is a whole construct about thoughts happening. I'm someone. I'm real. I'm thinking about. I'm deciding things. This is my life. Me is not real, so it's difficult to talk about me because it's not real. Because it's a construct. So to recognize what is me, it's impossible. So it's this thought thing. You can't find it. But you can't find it. That's also some religions do, like, oh, where's the me? And you have to look for the me and you can't find it. So you will never find it. So that's a way to see that there's no me. But still those thoughts happen and those feelings like, this is my thoughts and still it's going on. And where's that me? But me is more that whole construct. Like there's something always busy with, do I do the right thing? Or I should have done that whole structure. So it's not looking for, is this the me or is that the me? You never find out. But it's those concepts about what is real and what is, I think when I do this, then there will happen that. All those beliefs and concepts can fade away a little bit. And that they're much less stronger. And then suddenly it's like, there's something else. So looking for me, you'll never find it. That's impossible. You can't say this is me or that is me. You can't.
Yeah,
there is nothing. Yeah. So it's just thoughts. Yeah.
While we were talking, like actually, as you were taking me kind of to see, I could actually see that I never gonna find the me, and that's why I see me as a just energetic shift, which, like, not really energetic, but you're right. It's impossible for the mind to find the me. You can find. Yeah, no.
Yeah, but still, there can be exercises like that. But still, there's something in that there's somebody looking. Where's the me? And that what is looking doesn't find it. So there's still two. So there's something going on that's still me in a little bit in a story. So this is endless. So this is you can't say this is me or this is not me. But it doesn't matter. There's something going on underneath the words in these meetings or somewhere when they're talking about this, maybe with two people. And then there's concepts fall away or are not that strong anymore. It's more energetic. So it's not about finding something, it's about loss. And that loss isn't, it's not noticed. Loss is there, and then after a while you think, there's something else, but I can't even say what it is, something like that. Or sometimes you talk to people and you think, it's different. That's more the loss that where we're talking about. So it's not important to find a me or so. You can't. But that can be suddenly like, there is that me not there? Wow, what is that? There's no me. But still that structure goes on because there's still something like, me deciding things, and that can happen. I don't know. Something like that.
Thank you.
There can be something clear about there's no me. Can be suddenly very clear also. But still there's something going on. Because this is energetic, it's not about an insight or something really clear, something else. It's more energetic.
Even when you say it's energetic, I feel like the me is still, because it has already a concept that it's energetic, something needs to change. They're not on the mind level anymore, but there is on energy level. But it's just while we were talking, those things were showing up for this me.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Rose.
Yeah, thank you. And then somebody say, is love not important? What is love? There's only unconditional love. There's personal love. That can be there. Nothing is important. Nothing is unimportant. It's what it is. It can be feeling of personal love. I love you. Yeah, can be there. So nothing is wrong. Nothing is right either. So that's what's going on. And it's everything. There's no right. There's no wrong. There's no above, there's no under, there's no inside of a in, and there's no outer. So it's what it is. It's very literally, and it's very simple and tiny. And it's this, and this is you could say it's life, or you could say it's unconditional love. But it's unconditional, so it's everything. There's no exclusion of anything. It's everything. But it's not everything for someone. It's for no one. No one seems to be also something. It's just everything. Can be eating candies. It's everything. It doesn't matter what it is. And that's the freedom. It's everything. That's the unconditional love. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Rose.
Thank you.
Rose.
Thank you. Hi.
Thank you, Rose.
Hi, Patty. Hi, Susie.
Thank you.
Hi there. Hi, Catherine.
Oh, I love you so much.
So, hi, Anita. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thanks. Thanks. Great. That's great. Oh. Oh, sweet. Thank you. Thank you.
We don't want to leave.
No, I'm going to close it now. No.
You found out about us, huh?
No.
The only way you get rid of us.
Yeah. Okay, bye. Bye.
Bye.